안녕하십니까. 네, 제30회 부산국제영화제 경쟁부문 선정작인 또 다른 탄생의 기자회견을 시작하겠습니다. 네, 게스트분들 입장하시겠습니다. 네, 파르조나 시린백 프로듀서님, 이자벨 카란다 감독님, 그리고 모더레이터를 맡아주신 프로그래머 박선영님 도착하셨습니다. 착석 부탁드립니다. 네, 그럼 모더레이터이신 박선영 프로그래머의 인사말과 작품 소개로 기자회견 시작하겠습니다.
안녕하세요. 부산영화제 아시아영화 담당 프로그래머 박선영입니다. 제30회 부산국제영화제 또 다른 탄생 기자회견 시작하겠습니다. 이자벨 칼란다 감독님 그리고 파르조나 시린백 프로듀서님 함께 자리해 주셨습니다. 또 다른 탄생은 타지키스탄의 이자벨 칼란다 감독님의 첫 장편으로 어제 성황리에 월드 프리미어를 마쳤습니다. 먼저 감독님께 첫 장편으로 부산국제영화제 경쟁부문에 초청되셨는데 어제 부산영화제 관객들을 처음 만나신 소감에 대해서 질문 드려보도록 하겠습니다.
Hello, this is working. First of all, thank you so much. We feel so privileged and honored to be here. It feels surreal, and I would like to thank Busan Film Festival, the entire festival's programming team, you, programming director Chon Han-sok Shi, all the volunteers for the warm welcome. This has been surreal, and I have no words to express my gratitude. This is such a small film, and I didn't even think this was going to happen. I submitted the film and I forgot about it, and then one day I got an email from you, and I thought it was a dream. I was dreaming. Yes, thank you.
네, 프로듀서님께서도 이 영화를 감독님과 두 분이서 굉장히 오랫동안 함께 준비하셨다고 들었거든요. 시린백 프로듀서님의 소감도 한 말씀 들어보도록 하겠습니다.
안녕하십니까. 저는 파르조나 시린백. We've been friends with Isabel for more than 20 years, and being part of her first film is an honor to me, because I know that Isabel wanted to make this film since she was 18 years old. The story is very close, not just to her heart, but to my heart and to the entire children of parents who migrated, who left their countries for the better life for themselves and for the better life for their children. And this film really is a gem of our life. Yes, we know this is a very small film, but the feeling and the expressions that were expressed in this film are very dear to our hearts. So yes, being part of this beautiful film is such a great honor. And I would love to express my deepest gratitude also to the Busan Film Festival. And I want just to say this line in Korean, if I may. 한국에 오게 되어 정말 기쁩니다. 이렇게 따뜻한 접수를 please help me. I want to say that the warm welcome that you are giving us is really inspiring and truly makes us happy.
대기실에서는 훨씬 더 한국말을 잘하셨는데 아마 지금 조금 긴장하신 것 같아요. 끝날 때쯤에 또 한국어로 인사 말씀 들어보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 기자분들 질문을 받아보도록 하겠습니다. 손을 들어주시면 저희가 마이크를 전달해 드리도록 하겠습니다.
바로 질문 드리면 되나요? 영화의 제목이 또 다른 탄생이라는 이란의 시인 포르그 파루흐자드의 동명의 시에서 차용된 것이라고 알고 있는데요. 근데 시에서 화자가 영화에서는 주인공의 어머니처럼 저는 느껴지더라고요. 근데 영화에서는 주인공을 어린 아이로 설정하게 되신 계기가 있을까요?
Thank you so much for the question. It's actually really good, and I think I'll take a long time to explain it. So the title comes from Farooq Farrokhzad's poem "Another Birth," and it's about a woman, about womanhood. And my film "Another Birth" is, in its essence, it's about a woman. It's about womanhood too. The only difference that we see it through Parastu's innocent eyes. So the film actually is about the mother, not the child. But I wanted to place the daughter at the front so we can see the loneliness of the mother figure through her eyes, and her inability to help the mother or to even understand what the mother feels. And for that reason, I actually used two of Farooq Farrokhzad's poems in the film. I know it was kind of, I had to be kind of brave to do that. There are like blocks of poems in the film, and for those viewers who probably don't really like poetry or it's too slow, it's kind of hard, but I wanted to do that and use less dialogue for the mother, because the mother is always in the background. But through Farooq Farrokhzad's poem, we get to understand her better. We get to understand her inner world, her emotions. She is never encouraged to express herself, the mother. And she doesn't even know, she's a very lonely woman, and she doesn't even have, because her daughter is so young, the only way for her to explain herself, to reach out to her daughter, is through the poetry. And there is a scene where she makes her little daughter read a very dark poem, I Pity the Garden. It's when she tries to sort of communicate to her daughter her pain and makes her daughter read it. I thought when I first made the little girl read it, all my friends were like, it's just so unbelievable, like nobody gonna believe you that a little girl is reading this dark poem that is actually made for adults about woman's loneliness. And I said that the story is actually very tragic. She is growing up without a father, and her childhood is cut short, and only through, and this poem, she's forced to sort of face the brutal world through this poem. Everything looks pretty in the film, actually. It's shot in the summer, but in that specific moment, we realize how dark her world, how hard it is for the small child through that. Like she's faced with, she's reading this very dark poem, and she's facing like these old challenges that are not for her age, let's say. But why I picked Another Birth as a title, it's more symbolic. It connected to the story itself. We see at the very beginning that Parastu is peeking through like a skyline into the room where a woman is giving birth. It's an actual birth. So, but then there's towards the end another birth, which is a spiritual rebirth of her mother. I'm so sorry, I think I have to stop, right? For the translator. Oh, it's okay, yesterday at the Q&A, I kept going. Yes, so I hope it makes sense to you, like that the poetry was used very specifically to explain motherhood. And you know, Farooq Farrokhzadeh is such a great poet, and I think I can't write dialogues like that, you know, and I thought, why not use Farooq? Also in Persian literature, I use the trope of, like, poets are very revered in Persian literature and literature in general. So the voice of a poet is a voice of authority. So in the film, Farooq's poetry is the voice of authority. Like, through her, we understand what it means to be a woman, what it is, like sometimes the loneliness that can be part of being a woman, if it makes sense. I hope it does to you. And also, I just want to add this, that I wanted to keep her memory alive. You know, whenever we read a poet or a writer, we keep them alive. And I just want her memory to always be alive. That's why I also dedicated the film to her. I think her poetry is the best part of the film, to be honest.
네, 다음 질문 또 받아보도록 하겠습니다. 손을 들어주시면 마이크를 드리겠습니다. 제가 질문 준비하시는 동안 한 가지 여쭤보도록 하겠습니다. 어제 영화들 다들 보셨을 텐데 감독님께서 직접 주연 배우로 또 출연을 하시잖아요. 그래서 감독님께서 이제 각본도 쓰시고 연출도 하시고 주연 배우까지 맡으셨는데 어떤 계기로 출연을 결심하게 되셨는지, 그리고 오랜 친구가 또 프로듀서를 맡으셨는데 감독님이 출연한다고 할 때 말리지는 않으셨는지 한번 질문 드려보도록 하겠습니다. 감독님의 연기에 만족하셨는지도 질문 드려주세요.
Thank you for the question. So what happened? So I wanted someone for the role who was kind of not a typical village woman, someone who was sort of out of place, someone who was so much in love with poetry. And for that reason, I wrote the piece for a friend of mine, but she couldn't obtain her passport on time, and she couldn't make it. And then we started to look for someone locally, but it was harvesting season, and all the local women were very busy or very shy. And then we decided that I'm going to just play it myself. But the experience was very hard because it was our crew. It was very small, like 6 of us, and I was doing a lot of things apart from directing it, acting in it. So, and we all got sick during making the film, and we were kind of in and out of the hospital. I rapidly lost weight, but we didn't tell the crew that I was not feeling. I was really sick. Every morning I would get IV shots or like vitamin shots before I would step on set. But I was so scared to tell people because, you know, once you tell that something is going wrong, it was already going wrong, but the director cannot get sick, so we kept it as a secret. But I lost so much weight towards the end. I think it kind of helped me to play this almost tortured woman. I think that was one positive side. In terms of like, were they objecting to me playing the part? I think they were very supportive. They knew that because I knew this character so well that they trusted me. So yeah, it was a very difficult experience, I must say, but rewarding. Now people ask me about how was it playing in your movie. Thank you.
Actually, everything you see in this film is made by Isabel herself. me and there's another, you might see her name in the titles, Shahnaz Show, the other producer of the film. Well, like when we were put as producers, so like, Isabel, like, you've done all by yourself. We were just there to support you and to help you. And this is my first experience in filming as well. So the title producer sounds to me so big that I do not fit in that title. But if helping and supporting the friend and doing whatever you can to help her to achieve her goal is producing, then yes, let it be so. But in terms of objecting Isabel playing the main role, none of us were doubtful that she should not play the main character, because she did it so well. I hope you've seen the movie and you can agree with me. And as I said, she has this vision from since she was 18, so she knew the character as she saw this character living, right? So that's why she knew every aspect of how to deliver the story well. So it of course it's a feature film, but still, as it's based on a true story, none of us could deliver it well rather than Isabel herself. So.
네, 연기도 정말 좋았습니다. 다음 질문 있으시면 손 들어주시면 마이크 드리겠습니다.
감독님께서 이렇게 연출과 연기를 동시에 하시면서 너무 힘들어서 포기하고 싶었던 순간은 없었는지, 그리고 특히 신경 썼던 부분이 있는지 궁금하고요. 이 작품을 한국 관객들이 보고 어떤 것들을 느꼈으면 하는지, 어떤 공감대를 형성했으면 좋겠는지 궁금합니다.
Thanks for the question. I'll reply to the first one first. Honestly, yes. I don't know how you guessed it, but I felt I brought so many people, like, to the village. We were all my entire crew was from Germany, the US, and then we came to shoot it there and everybody got sick. I was so worried that someone's gonna die or something is gonna happen, what I'm gonna do. Like, literally every day one person would get ill, we go to the hospital. We had 4 weeks of shooting, and out of the 4 weeks, 2 weeks we were like in and out of the hospital. So I was very exhausted. I was very regretful. I said, why did I do this to myself? All these questions were there, you know. And it was so funny that they just built an insane asylum like next to the village, and I was like, oh, probably just built it for me. Maybe by the end of this whole shoot, they're gonna take me because I'm going crazy. They'll take me there. So it was very, very difficult. But I lost my train of thought. But what I wanted to say about this, the whole process, is that we came to the village. The entire cast is my family members. Like the little girls are my cousins. The father in the film is my grandfather. My grandmother is in the film. My uncle plays my brother. Every single cast member is related to me. So that was helpful. You know, even everything was not going well, they were there in the village. Whenever we were like, okay, today we're gonna shoot something, they were just ready to come and be on set. There was a point after 2 weeks that we didn't shoot anything, and we thought we're not gonna have anything. My co-producer, Shahnaz, who plays, you see her at the end, she's the Pari, that fairy. She came up to me and said, listen, we have this expensive equipment. in the garage sitting and we're not shooting anything. Let's just take it and walk around and make a documentary, you know. And I think half of our budget went just on the equipment. And yeah, that moment was the scariest one. We had 2 weeks of nothing, just people like sick, sleeping. And at that moment, I was like, I'm not gonna have anything. We came so far, and yes, it was daunting. And the second question about Korea, I must say that I just fell in love, and I'm just being very honest. I did not expect that people are so generous. People are so kind. The way, my happiest moment yesterday after the premiere, like 3 elderly women came up to me, hugged me, kissed me. I almost cried, and one of them said that how much she loved the film, and for me it was like the best experience, you know. And I hope it's going to continue, and I'm just already planning to return. I love it. I have no words. And one thing I learned actually here, it's I'm hoping that I'm going to be as generous as Korean. That's the thing that I'm trying to learn from you. Generosity, kindness, and yeah. Thank you.
네, 다음 질문 받아보도록 하겠습니다. 어떤 분께서 질문을 해주실까요?
저도 잠깐 질문 하나 하면, 저는 개인적으로 러닝타임이 66분이니까 조금 짧지도 길지도 않은 딱 어떤 길이감이어서, 그게 어떤 이야기를 그 안에 다 풀으셨기 때문에 충분한 시간이었는지, 그 정도의 시간도 어떤 이유가 있는지, 그리고 다음 연작들도 준비하고 계신 걸로 아는데, 이런 정도의 길이감의 영화를 만들 계획인지, 아니면 또 이야기에 따라 달라질 것인지 궁금합니다.
Yeah, that's a great question too. Actually, the film was much longer, but what I learned during the editing process, not to get too attached to the beautiful scenery, beautiful images, and I kept telling my editor, cut it. I don't want this scene, I don't want it. But she was like, oh, but it's going to be a short film now. I said, I don't really care about the length. So it was not planned. It just happened like that. So for me, it was not, I don't know. I looked at that. It just didn't feel right. It was initially 1 hour and 20 minutes, and I kept asking, take this scene out, take that. There were a lot of establishing scenes of mountains, and it looked very pretty. But I thought it was just there for being pretty. It didn't convey the story, and I left everything that was very essential to the story. Nothing more, nothing less. But it was not planned. It's just, it happened the way it happened. I was even ready to make it a short film. Like it was never about the length for me. Actually, the second film of the trilogy, Still We Must Live, is already in post-production. Because I was such an inexperienced filmmaker, I just made them back to back. Like I shot Another Birth, then later returned a year after, shot the second film while Another Birth was in post-production. And that second film is obviously, for many, many reasons, we didn't have as many problems that we had during making of Another Birth. I think it's inexperience and bad luck maybe, but the second one went smoothly. No one got sick. Everything was on time, and it's much longer. And I'm hoping I'm going to come back to Busan next year with it. That's the plan. I like it here so much, so yeah.
그리고 하나 더 하면 여기 가족분들이 없으니까 가족분들이 다 캐스팅에 참여했다고 하니까 어느 분이 제일 연기 잘했고 어느 분은 못했을까요?
The worst actor is my grandmother. She had a bigger role. We spent one day, and I told her grandmother, "You wasted $1,000 of my one day was like we had it cost $1,000 for us." And then she got so scared. She's an old lady, and she's like, I'll pay you. I said, you don't work. She said, I have 12 children. They can like give you the money. And to this day, she tells everyone, I wasted her $1,000. So she was the worst. We didn't use that part, but she has a little part in the film. Like she walks in the village. So I still kept her. The best actress, I think it's my cousin, the main girl. Yeah, I just fell in love with her. And the second girl, she's my cousin too. We're all cousins in the film. I think they were both incredible. But what I loved about Shukrana, the main actress, the lead, she was so mature for her age. She learned everything so quickly. By the end of the shooting, one day she came, we were watching the dailies, and she's like, wow, we were shooting the whole day for just 1 minute? This is insane, I'm leaving. Or she started using the slate. She just knew, and another thing, I got very emotional when the second one said that now she wants to be an actress because of the experience. She said, I loved being in front of the camera. But you also have to understand, I'm just going to add this, it's a rural area. They don't have these opportunities. For them, it was a big, big deal. My uncle to this day is asking me, when am I going to see the film, please? I said, after the premiere, I don't trust you. Once we have the premiere, I'll send you the link. Yes. Yeah, we'll share it with everyone. That's what they do.
네, 혹시 다음 질문 있으신가요? 네.
네, 안녕하세요. 헬로tv뉴스 김영식입니다. 감독님께 좀 질문 드리고 싶은데요. 사실 감독님이 한국에 그렇게 많이 알려진 감독님은 아니세요. 그래서 감독님이 어떤 스타일의 영화를 좀 추구를 하시고, 그리고 내가 생각하는 영화 방식은 혹은 어떤 주제는 어떤 거가 있고 앞으로 어떻게 갈 것이다, 그런 걸 혹시 말씀해 주실 게 있으실지 부탁드리겠습니다.
Trust me, nobody knows me outside of Korea either, not even my home country or the US, my second home country. So it's all good. Hopefully after Busan, people will get to know me and I'll get to know myself. About Korean film, please forgive me, I forgot not that I forgot, but I'm so bad with pronouncing. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce his last name, but do you know the film Poetry? A Korean film Poetry. It's about a grandmother.
이창동 감독님이시.
So this film, I saw it just by pure accident a long time ago, 10 years ago. But this movie just stayed with me. It's so interesting that everywhere I go, from time to time, I just think about the grandmother. I think, what is she doing? Is she still writing poetry? It's so strange. I just stumbled upon it by accident. I didn't know anything about the director. And to this day, that is the only movie. I don't know if it was a coincidence that it's one of the films that have stayed with me. So yes, this is a Korean movie. Speaking about Korean, maybe sort of my own style is similar to the style of the filmmaker. It's very slow. I admire Tarkovsky, Kiarostami is my big inspiration. Mohsen Makhmalbaf is my biggest inspiration. This is my first feature, and I didn't study production like filmmaking. I studied film studies. It's quite different. So when I stepped on set, I didn't know anything, to be frank, and I did a lot of it intuitively, and I can't even describe my style yet. I don't even know what's my style, but I can tell you the films that I like. As I said, it's Kiarostami, Makhmalbaf, Tarkovsky, Bellatar. So it's mostly like slow cinema, where the plot is not the main thing. It's more about contemplating. It's like a meditation. And Also, I just love poetry. It's just such a big part of my life, and somehow my films became like this sort of little poems. I don't know if I can call them, maybe it's too ambitious for me to call them like little poems. Even my second film has lots of poetry in it. But it was unintentional. It just happened. I can't even explain it. When I wrote the script, none of it was there, none of it. And then we had to improvise a lot. As I said, 2 weeks we didn't do anything. The script was too ambitious. So every day I improvise something new. The film is, a lot of it is just improvised. Yeah, and yeah, yes, I hope I answered your question. And thanks for the question.
네, 아까도 잠깐 말씀드린 것처럼 감독님께서 이제 망명 3부작이라고 하는 영화 시리즈들을 준비하고 계시고 이 또 다른 탄생이 그 시리즈 중에 첫 번째 작품이에요. 그래서 아마 이제 두 번째도 거의 아까 말씀하신 것처럼 포스트 프로덕션이 거의 끝나서 내년에는 또 소개를 할 수 있지 않을까 생각하는데 두 번째, 세 번째를 거치면서 감독님의 뚜렷한 스타일이나 주제의식 같은 것들이 좀 더 이렇게 확고해지지 않을까 그렇게 생각을 해봅니다. 다음 질문.
네, 시간이 이제
네, 다 됐나요?
넘어가고 있어서 마지막으로 인사말 간단히 해주시고 그 다음에 이제 포토타임 갖고 마무리하겠습니다.
네.
Please give a closing.
Again, thank you so much. I'd like to just tell everyone at the programming team of the festival, thank you for accepting our film. It's such a small film. It's like a family album. It's very raw, but it's very sincere. We sincerely try to make a good film. And I will take the trust you've placed in me as an opportunity to become a better filmmaker and a better person. And I'm truly honored to start with my career with this film festival. It's such a big film festival. It's so surreal, to be frank and honest with you. And thank you everyone for coming here. I'm just hoping I'll see you next year.
I'll just add to Isabel's word, and first of all, thank you for all the kindness that we're receiving here and for the movie. And I like your questions about how are we expecting that the Korean audience perceive this film. I just want to say that the language of film is universal, and I think that the story that we delivered during this film festival will just touch the hearts of Koreans, because no matter where we belong, what ethnicity we are, we all share good values, and we all share universal values, and I think that the story will be very, very close to every woman, be it in Korea or be it because loneliness and being kind of depressed and being feeling not in your own place and feeling stuck in somewhere and feeling that you are not able to express yourself fully is quite universal for every woman around the world. So I think that the audience will like it, hopefully. And thank you so much for coming and for your time, for your good questions. Thank you.
네, 그럼 이상으로 기자회견 마치고 이어서 포토타임 갖도록 하겠습니다. 네, 사진 촬영 진행하겠습니다. Wave the hands. And then look at the middle. 네, 감사합니다. 네, 감사합니다. 수고하셨습니다. 타샤크.